Hey guys, it's Anthony. I took first place in a poker tournament, No Limit Hold'em, for my biggest score ever. I final tabled another PLO tournament, and we've got sorority girls coming up on our live stream. That and maybe more, but probably not anything else, coming up after a swingy PLO session. I'm Anthony. I've been playing poker for a living since 2019. Hit that intro.
Don't soul roll me if you get quad fours, man.
You folded king, king, jack, jack? You owe me $350. Your money should be in there too.
Did you bluff me?
Would I ever bluff?
I'm leaving right there.
No, it's on tilt. Thank you, sir. I would not lie to you, sir. I told you I had a full house. Doing the Lord's work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
The straddle is on for $10. There's one caller, then a re-raise to $35. One player calls, and in the cutoff, I look down at ace-ace 7-6, suited in clubs to my ace. I just call, as I'm pretty deep, and if I re-raise, I can't get my entire stack in or create a low stack to pot ratio. The button calls, the small blind calls, the straddler calls, and the limper calls, and we are going 7 ways to a flop, which falls 10-5-3 with 2 clubs. The limper now leads for the pot of 245. The original raiser folds. The player on my right cold calls. The button folds out of turn. I speak up, letting everyone know I haven't acted yet. With that action on me, I've flopped the nut flush draw, a gutshot draw to the nut straight, and I do have an overpair to the board. The flop texture itself isn't one to really smash many people's ranges. I block some of the wrap straight draw combos, and I'm ahead of other flush draws. I'm really only concerned with being up against a set, but even then, I still have outs. I opt for the aggressive option since my hand is well disguised, and I announce pot, making it $1,225 to go. The original better goes all in for $270. The player between us folds. My opponent only wants to run it once and turns over ace-10, 10-6 for top set. Looking at the equities, I have 39% against my opponent's 61%, so while it's not a great spot to be in, at least I'm not completely dead. The turns and river bring the 2 black cards, but unfortunately of the wrong suit, falling the 9 and queen of spades, and my opponent will take this one down.
We are under the gun. It's our favorite villain, Inez. And we are going to risk it all by limping in under the gun. Our first hand with her at the table. She's already cackling. This can't be good. This can't be good. That's us. Let's see. Let's see how much pain she puts on me. We got 2 other limpers behind us. The blind calls. All right, we're going 4 ways to a flop. Just flop them dead. You've got a chance to redeem yourself. All right, the flop is ace of diamonds, jack of clubs, 4 of spades.
What do you got?
20. All right, one of the limpers bets 20. Call. All right, I only lost $5, so all right, we're not doing bad. We're not doing bad. She's taking it from me slowly today.
Yes.
$20 straddle is now. We're under the gun close. Now we're in early position. We call.
This one's for now. So just to make it easy.
He's actually doing it backwards though. Like if he has the nuts, he should want to run it like 12 times, because it smooths out his variance. Like, because how often is he going to get scooped if he's got the edge, you know?
Yeah.
Right, so there's one caller and there's a raise to 150. You choose violence today? Because I feel like this is personal. All right, one of the blinds calls. So on me now?
Yep.
Right, we call. The other limper calls. All right, he cannot beat all of us, guys. Let's get him. Punish him, dealer. You're not at that cushy table like you were before, man. You're at the real table now.
4 players.
All right, flop is king of spades, 2 of hearts, 3 of hearts.
115, 460, 495.
At a 495. Ay-yah, such a pretty hand. He's all in and gets it in.
All right, we know what you got.
We go twice. Or you want to do it once? Whatever you want. Twice? All right.
I folded 2 hearts. Sorry, guys. Whoever it needs it.
I folded 2 hearts as well. 2 pairs.
2 pairs, good. All right.
Oh, there's a
chop
heart.
it up. Chop it up.
What is your heart?
So chop it up. Chop it up. Yeah.
With the nut flush draw.
Oh, wow.
King,
King,
Nice hand, nice hand.
Ace, king, 2. Oh, boy.
The $10 straddle is on. There's 3 callers, and in the cutoff, I look down at Queen, Queen, Jack 4 with 3 spades. I make the call. The button folds. The small blind calls, and now the big blind raises to 55 because everyone knows raising deep stacked out of position in Texas is the pro move. Multiple callers behind. I call. The small blind folds, and we go 4 ways to a flop of 10-4-4 rainbow. When it checks to me, I've hit my dangler, and I announce pot betting 250. I want my bet to look bluffy, like I don't want to call, because many of these players know how tight I am, and they won't think I have a 4 in the spot, so they may call with kings or aces here, not realizing they have 2 outs to beat me. Unfortunately, the original raiser shows his hand to his neighbor and then folds, as does everyone else, and we'll take it down.
Next hand is bump up. We should do this one.
If we can do this, no one cares.
No, next hand. Next hand.
No?
Everybody look like it. So there's 1 caller, we call in middle position. There's 1 caller behind us, and then the cutoff makes
Barely
it
pull
50.
anything under 100. Too expensive.
Button calls, straddle calls, limper calls, we call. And we have limper calls. So 6 of us going to a flop. All right, punish him. Punish him. Please. 3 of hearts, 3 of clubs, 10 of time. The razor bets 150. And 8 of clubs. See what happens. Ring clicking them.
You see?
This is you. I'm viewing. You know, this will be. I'll live vicariously through you guys for the vlog. Got the 310. How good do you run, man?
He
That's
raised
fantastic.
50. Don't forget.
Yeah, he raised. He raised.
Joy.
Yeah.
I have way better than
Flopped it. That was all skill. That was all skill, sir.
He knew. He knew.
Winning all the chips. Uh-huh.
He knew it. He knew it's coming.
We're playing a 5-handed double board bomb pot. In the blinds, I look down at the janky 8-8-5-2, suited in hearts to my 8. The boards come down King 10-8 rainbow and King 4-3 rainbow. I flop bottom set on the top board and an open-ended straight draw on the bottom board. I should probably bet out here, but there are straight draws and higher sets possible on the board I'm strongest on, and I'm not made on the other board, so I opt for pot control and just check. One of my opponents bets the pot of 75. I make the call, as does the player behind me. Watch me whip, watch me nay-nay, bitches! The turns are the 7 of spades and the ace of diamonds. I've made the nut straight on the bottom, and I still have my set on top, although the straight has materialized. Still, I want to give my aggressive opponent rope to hang himself, and I just check. Unfortunately, he doesn't fall for my tricks, and it's checked around. The rivers come the jack of diamonds and the 4 of clubs. So now the wrong board has paired, and I have to check. Fortunately, both of them check.
Starting from a very good hand and turn to the most ugly hand possible.
I got a set where you have 2 pair, and I have the wheel on the bottom.
I think you scoop.
I hope so. Can I wait? Just can I? Ah, damn it! Yeah, King 10 7 6.
King 10 7. That's what I have.
6. Yeah, King 10 7 6. Thank you.
It folds to me in the cutoff, and I call holding ace-ace jack 2, suited in hearts to my ace. The small blind calls, the big blind makes it 20. I make the call, and the small blind comes along as well.
Here you go, homie.
The flop is ace 8-5 with 2 diamonds. The original raiser bets out 50, and I just make the call. The turn is the king of clubs. Now my opponent bets 100, and I drop the hammer, announcing pot and making it 460, and he folds. The $10 straddle is on, and there's 2 callers. In the cutoff, I look down at king, king, queen 9 with 3 diamonds. The button, small blind, and big blind all call, And the straddle can't fucking help himself, and he pots it to 80. One of the limpers call, and I raise to 360.
Pot.
360.
Pot for 360.
Oh boy. He's up.
Hold the action. Hold the action.
Oh.
Okay, it's okay. Oh, it's
Straddle
all right. It's all good.
shoves.
It's all good. I can't call that.
Raise all in. All in.
People are getting
I always go twice, whatever you guys want to do.
twice.
So we're bringing 315 to the middle from each player.
315. 315 for the short stack.
Main pot, you guys are playing for the side. Everybody going twice.
Twice. I don't like spades. I got diamonds though. Top set and diamonds.
Flush and top set. Nut flush, top set. For the side pot first, please.
Oh, side pot first. Oh, she has ace. He's got aces. Holy shit.
Kings and queens. Set of kings.
Set of
That's
kings.
The side. 4. 85.
All right, so I scoop on the big side pot. I mean, he was in the straddle. How can I put him on?
485.
Your hand is
I gotta go with it. And,
You got the side pot.
yeah, but he got your suit too.
and then her and I chop up the middle.
He got ace of double suited.
Wow. Not proud, but I'll take it.
You have nut plus. Can you believe it?
Nope.
Diamond. He only got 3 freaking diamonds.
I got 3 diamonds. Yeah.
And a set to go with it. Oh boy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
You're telling me?
So unfortunately, this swinging PLO session saw me book a loss of $1,065. But it's not all bad news. At the end of August, I played another PLO tournament at the lodge on Wednesdays. Their free roll, which if you buy all the chips will cost you $245. And I made my 8th final table out of 13 or 14 tries. And we got down to 3-handed. We all agreed to do an ICM chop, and I took my 3rd second place victory for $1,668. Then on Saturday, September 9th, I played the Georgetown Poker Battle of the Clubs. I was getting dealt a lot of ace-king, ace-queen, and ace-jack hands very early, so I was able to chip up pretty nicely. But midway through the tournament, I had moved tables, and I was up against an accomplished local player who has over $150,000 in tournament earnings. And he put me to a huge test on the river. He made this massive overbet that was for more than 2/3 my stack. And, a lot of people, when they think about poker and poker tells, they think, people have these physical twitches and facial tics and, their throats pulsing and different things that are going to give away what, if they have it, if they don't have it. In my experience, I find that the biggest tells for me are betting tells. Is my opponent telling a believable story with the way they played the hand? Do their bets make sense? Does 2 + 2 = 4? And in this instance, it didn't. I only had second pair on the river, and the front door flush had come in. But my opponent had raised pre-flop, got multiple callers, and then on a queen 10-6 flop with 2 diamonds, he checked. I can't remember the action on the turn. I might have bet and he called, I think it was. And then on the river, he just led for this massive overbet. We were heads up when the deuce of diamonds came in. And I thought to myself, if he raised pre-flop and he had top pair queens, he's probably going to bet the flop. He didn't. If he had a flush draw on the flop, he's probably going to bet it. He was a pre-flop aggressor. He didn't. So now he's making this massive overbet on the river. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. He's not telling me a believable story. And, I'm thinking he's making a bet that he doesn't want me to call. And part of the problem when I first started playing poker was really learning to trust that inner voice. Every fiber of my being is telling me this guy's bluffing. You've got to call. This is huge for the tournament. Like, you just can't lay this down. And it was like a 50,000 chip bet into maybe a 25, 30K pot. I can't remember exactly, something along those lines. And I just,
I was like, it's 50K and I had maybe 70K, maybe a little bit more in my stack. So it's a huge part of my stack. But I was like, it just doesn't add up. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to listen to that voice, man. I've got to believe in myself. I've got to believe in those reads. And I called with second pair. I had ace 10, I think it was, and I was good. And from there, I had the chip lead and I ran real well. We got to the final table. I was the chip leader into the final table, and I held on to that for a while. We got down to 6 players, and that's where fortune started to change. I got involved in a hand where an aggressive player had raised, I think, maybe under the gun early position, and he just min raised, and I called with ace 10. And the flop was, I want to say, jack 10 something. And he checked. I bet 15K with my second pair, and he check raised me to like 40K. And I didn't necessarily believe him, so I called. I had position on him as well. Well, the turn came an ace. So now I had aces and tens. There was 2 flush draws possible now. There was, I want to say, clubs and diamonds. He checked. I just ripped it. I had him covered. I thought maybe he, had a flush draw or something. He was just trying to bully me on the flop. He goes deep in the tank. He's terrified that I have king, queen, and that I've made the straight. But he tells me he has a set. And he's like, I can't lay down a set. And I'm like, fuck. So he calls. I see the bad news. He flopped a set of 6s. And I do not get there. So now he doubles up through me, and I'm on crumbs. I go from first place to last place, 6 players. So I'm in rough shape. I wind up making my stand. One of the players raises under the gun with pocket deuces. I shove with ace jack. I think he raised to 15K. I made it, 30K all in. He calls, and I wind up finding a Broadway on the river. So I find the full double up. Maybe a hand or two later, I'm on maybe the button or something like that. It folds to me. I have ace 3 of hearts. So, I don't have a ton of chips. I shove. He snaps, the same player. He has ace queen. So I'm in a world of hurt. It's looking like I'm about to bust. I flop a 3. I hold. I find the full double up. He was not pleased. I don't blame him. Poker, sorry, bro. Sorry, man. People suck out on me all the time. Come on. I deserve, Poker Jesus watching over me once in a while. So, so I find another double up. Now I have a healthy stack. Now I'm back in it. I've got, I don't know, 150, 170, something like that. It's healthy. And that same player, he runs his pocket 10s into my pocket jacks, and this time I have him covered. So now he goes to the rail. Myself and the player who I had doubled up, who had the set of 6s, I think we did all the heavy lifting. I think he busted 4 players. I busted 3. We get heads up for all the cheddar, man. And he had the chip lead. He was trying to offer me a chop, even money chop if he gets the trophy. And I want to say second was around 8,000, and a chop was going to get me like 9,300. And I was like, nah, man, let's play it out. Usually I chop all the time. I'm all about lowering variance and spreading that money out, but it didn't, this was 8,000 was already the biggest score I've ever had, in my life. So I'm happy as a pig in shit right there. And now I have an opportunity to play for even more and play for that trophy, man, and get the win, because a lot of people that I know in the poker world give me shit for all the chops and stuff. You play it out, you pussy. So I fucking played it out. And early on, I was getting the better of him. I was chipping up. I was getting closer to evening the stacks. Midway through our heads up battle, he started to fight back and just started getting the better of me. And I reached a point where I was like, all right, well, I got 20, 25 big blinds. It's time to just, start ripping it and, increase the variance, because I felt like he was going to run me over heads up. I don't get in those spots very often. I'm not really a hold'em player. So I wound up, I ripped over his raise with, I want to say, queen 10 of spades. He snapped with ace 5 offsuit. I flop a flush. Now I have the massive chip lead. The momentum has swung, and I wind up picking up ace 6 of clubs. We get it in, and he makes his stand with, I think it was jack 8 offsuit. I flop an ace, and it's all over but the crying, man. So I wind up taking the win, my largest win ever, $10,608 for this first place. It felt so good, man. I'm still on cloud 9, but there's not time to slow down because we have a lot of other stuff going on, all right? So I need your help. This week on Thursday, September 14th at 7 p.m. Central Time,
Georgetown Poker is hosting the Southwestern University Sorority Poker Showdown. We're going to be hosting a sorority, the Alpha Z Deltas, and they're going to be sending, I want to say, 30 to 35 ladies to our room to play. We're going to have a feature table with commentators live on GPC Live. I need your help. I need you guys to tune in. I need you in the chat. I need you rooting them on. I need you livening it up. I need you hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. I want to make this event a success. We're getting a lot of these ladies have never played poker before. I want to grow the sport. I want to get newcomers in there. I want to get fresh blood in there. I want to get young blood in there. We need more women in there, right? This is great. So if you guys can tune in Thursday, September 14th, 7 p.m. Central Time, smash that like button, follow along, get in the chat, root them on. Please be kind. We will have moderators. No funny business, all right? I know I joke around. I can be crude sometimes, but let's take it easy. You know, and if you guys are in the area, if you're in Austin, come on down to the room. We're going to have some cash tables. Doors open at 4 p.m. Get there early. We're expecting it to fill up. We're expecting to be a popular night. And if this is a success, the university is on board with helping us reach other sororities, other fraternities, other clubs and organizations there. It's huge. It's such a good demographic. It really helps me out. You guys follow along. You help me on the channel. You've helped me to grow this channel, be successful. I need your help with this so that I can be successful at Georgetown Poker. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope that we'll see you in the chat or we'll see you in the room. And otherwise, we will see you in the next episode.
You know, after watching a video like this, sometimes I'll like it, sometimes I'll leave a comment, and sometimes I'll subscribe. Sometimes I'll even do all three.